Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. It's about Forza. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that you will be muted during the program. We are recording this and want to keep the audio clear. I also recommend that you ask questions and make comments, so please use the question box on your webcast viewer. And we will be monitoring the questions during the presentations. We will take them up one by one at the end of the program. The webinar is set for an hour, but we'll stay until all the questions are answered. We are recording this, and I will upload the webinar to the FSPA website so you can refer back to it or have your colleagues review it, and I'll have it uploaded by Thursday afternoon. If you would like additional information or a copy of the slides, there will be a contact slide on the final slide of the presentation. And with that, I'd like to turn the presentation over to the Forza team.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We appreciate the opportunity. My name is Drew Cataldo, Vice President of Business Development for Alt Covered Business Consulting Services, and we are the IT Services Division of Konica Minolta. And the product we're going to talk about today is Forza, which is built on SAP Business One. And as you saw from the introduction to the webinar to join us today, you know, if your current service dispatching software is leaving you with no quoting or project management or expense entry options, we have got a solution for you and your business. So first, let me introduce our team. I have myself, Drew Cataldo. We also have Adam Rosenthal, our Senior Account Manager. He leads our partnership with FSPA and will be our point person and go-to resource for the membership as a follow-up to today's session. We also have Ashish Kuten, and he is our SAP Business Process Analyst and will be doing a short demonstration for us on today's call. Our goal today is to give you a high-level overview of Forza, also share some functional highlights of Forza and the SAP Business One solution, and then a short demonstration of our project management tool, which is our focus for today's webinar. First, I'd like to share our value proposition. So our goal with Forza, built on SAP Business One, eliminates costly, disjointed, and purpose-built software tools with a true open architecture ERP solution. So if you are using multiple tools, field service software, alerting tools, maybe CRM, analytics, or quoting tools, or separate project management software, we've got a solution that will help tie all of that together. And that's our goal. The next slide actually shares just a little bit about what is Forza. Our single platform suite of systems, as you can see, what we call the hub and spoke, is you can see all of the components of the Forza solution operating with one tool to be able to deliver all of this functionality to your business. So Forza is a single sign-on open architecture ERP. It's all-inclusive for you as a service provider to unify, manage, and control all aspects of your organization. And it's built on SAP Business One, so it has real-time integration, transaction processing, and reporting. The nice thing from SAP Business One perspective is that over 60,000 customers and over 1 million users are utilizing SAP Business One. So it has very broad functionality, and I think you will find that there is a lot of security in utilizing one of the world's largest software platforms. And as I hand it over to Adam to talk a little bit more about the SAP functionality and then get into the functional highlights, it's important to note that with the strong organization behind us, over 76% of the world's transactions run on SAP. So to share a little bit more about the solution and the functional highlights, I'll turn it over to Adam Rosenthal.
Hi, good afternoon, and thank you for attending the webinar today. I'm going to talk a little bit more about SAP, and then I'm going to take you through some feature highlights before our presentation of the demonstration. So a little bit more about SAP B1, or Business One, as Drew alluded to, that we have well over 60,000 customers. The nice part about this solution is it gives you technologies like single sign-on, and we're going to talk about in a moment some application space where it's going to be similar to whether you're using an Android device or you're using an Apple device. It shouldn't be any different than it is when you have a business system. So I read an article today about Chase Bank in 2017 did a survey, and essentially cash transactions are down 22%. I know a lot of the FSPA businesses, as I work with them, are in the ATM business. I know they're in other solutions as well. And the whole point is there's at this point no market that doesn't face disruptions or disruptors. So having the SAP Business One platform allows you to, there's never any planned obsolescence. As far as the technology, SAP invests over $4 billion a year in research and development. So no matter what business you do, or whether it's distribution and you're also servicing, or you're just selling something, or you're just doing e-commerce, Business One is the platform that you never have to, you will never outgrow. There's an app for that. And I want to share with you, the next slide is just going to highlight, there's well over 1,000 apps. Again, it doesn't matter what you do. If you decide you want to get into web commerce and compete, not necessarily with Amazon, but web storefront, there's a partner that can handle the Mgmt built right into SAP. Here's a little journey of the slides that I'm going to go through. So this is, again, one seamless process. It's one database. So we're going to go through the sales, CRM, warehouse delivery, service dispatch, contract and billing, and then accounting and reporting. Integrated, mobile-ready, built-in sales CRM is so important to an organization. Once again, this is one database. So through this technology, you can download a native app, whether it's Android again or Apple for the CRM for the mobile users. We have a complete, what we call quote to cash. So you can literally start an opportunity, create, using a configurator, you can create quotes with or without configuration. From there, you can actually turn that into a sale. It'll build contracts, print your T's and C's. No one ever has to re-enter the data, especially with all the errors and the labor that's involved with that. If you're an owner, C-level, we're going to give you the dashboards that you need when you're either looking at cash flow, or if you're going to make a purchase for some items and you want to find out what opportunities. Everyone in the organization is going to have opportunity to look. You don't have to be an outside sales rep. Anyone could look at the CRM and find out customer activity. Some of the FSPA companies may have inside salespeople. They can use that as well. So everything can be quoted and tracked throughout the system. If you're using Outlook, no problem. Outlook integration. Advanced warehouse management. We have, again, if we go back to the choices, you can either, if you just want to have barcodes and count your inventory and transfer and do all those things, you can do that. If you have advanced warehouse management where you're selling thousands of items, you can do that as well with our solution. We have tight integration with FedEx, with WorldShip. Whether you're shipping maybe LTL, we can handle all of those transactions in one system. And you can see some statistics by that we have found by using actual barcoding. Again, you're using the manufacturer's number. You're not having to make up a fictitious part number, so it makes it so easy to use and easy to adapt. Interactive, intuitive dispatch and service management. We do have intuitive dispatch console that's web-based. You can look at it from a tablet, a phone, or any browser. It's interactive. You can move calls around. You can reprioritize calls. No reason to be behind a desk. You can do it from the desk or do it anywhere. As far as the app for the technician, there's some really nice functionality to help the FSPA members. It is using a true app. So, and it has full caching. So if you go offline, no problem, you can still work. Once again, Apple or Android, you can download it from the store. It's not proprietary, as far as having to side load it or anything like that. Your customers will also get notifications every step of the service call. One of the best features for the FSPA members is expense entry. So from the actual device, they can add receipts, tolls, and it can either be chargeable, not chargeable. And we're going to get into the project management here shortly, but SAP Business One actually supports time and expense entry as well, and this can also be linked to the actual projects. And if you're a supervisor, there's a supervisor mode. Customer web portal. We have some options or choices about what type of portal you need. They can log in. Your customers can actually log in. They can see their invoices. They can make payments. The nice part about our solution with the choices, there's 60, 70 type credit card vendors. So if you're paying high interest now, you can choose your vendor. We also support true ACH right from the portal. We have an enhanced portal. With the enhanced portal, if you decide you want to have, let's say, B2B Amazon type experience and put some items out for your customers to buy with pictures, you can do that as well. If you decide that you've got some items, you're a distributor, and you want to take these items out to the open web, we have Mgmt partners as well, so you can have full e-commerce. Once again, the item is in the system with pictures, doesn't have to be re-entered again, and we also have payment structure with that as well, so your customers can pay for it. Closed loop ticketing. This is a really great feature, especially if you've got customers that want to email a service call in. You can actually train the solution and have those emails automatically create service calls in the Forza product. As the technicians or as the ticketing is working, the customers can get emailed as well. And the concept behind the closed loop ticketing is we have equipment records. If you're probably used to that in the software, but if you just want to work with incidents or issues, you can do that as well with our closed loop ticketing. As you can see, there's a billing wizard, streamline the invoice process. So it's somewhat of an internal tool for a one-stop shop. The contracts are built on Crystal reports. The nice part about Crystal reports is many single-use softwares provide Crystal, or they have Crystal as a reader, but the nice part about Crystal is, and it could be maybe a factoid, is SAP actually owns Crystal reports. So within our system, we not only build our reports into Crystal, but there's also a wizard, allows you to do some changing if you want. Also, you can build reports out with it. But the unique contracts also can be pushed into a spreadsheet. If you have a bank that sends you data, that can be pushed into it as well. It can be done batched. It can be done at real time. They can be emailed out. And once again, they can also view the access and pay these contracts online. Accounting, financials, reporting. Financials may be the heart of our solution and really what makes it tick. SAP Business One and Forza are true GAAP compliant and true SOX compliant. There are things within it. If you're looking for more sophisticated financials and you're limited or dragged down by just a department or sub-department, we have what's called dimensional financials, where you can have multiple streams reach out for reporting and the like. If you want details, you can get extremely detailed with our solution. We do have the bank statements. We also have, if your banks can provide some type of a file For the most part, we can work with any bank and actually upload your bank rec, and you can do it daily, weekly, or monthly if you want to watch your cash flow. Maps, alerts, dashboards, and accountabilities. Many software have they have some alerts, or you can maybe add on more alerts and alerts and alerts. Alerts are great, but in our solution, we have real-time dashboards that will help you with a proactive approach. We also have some workflows built into our solution. So rather than have to rely on alert, you could set thresholds within the screens. For example, you have a vendor and you don't want anyone to buy more than $5,000. You can set a limit internally, so when someone tries to, do a purchase order for 6,000, it turns red, doesn't allow them to do it, and then you get notified for approval. So that is what we call our workflows, and you're going to find that all through our solution. If you like alerts, we have an alert manager and alert wizards, and you can alert on any situation that you need in the solution. Accounting, financial reports. I'm sorry about that. So today's topic, project management. That's what Ash is going to show here in just a moment. But with that, you can manage multiple projects. So if you have 2 or 3 installations, 5 installations, you can track those. You can watch your revenue stream. So if it's important for you to understand, what projects you have, what money is still outstanding, what are your benchmarks, you'll be able to do that as well with our project management. You can also set an alert if you want to alert on each stage to have budgeting. So if you budget installation basically by hours and dollars, and you run over those dollars, you can be alerted. The nice part about our solution is everyone could feed time and expense entry, and you will always know where you are in that installation. At the end of the day, it's going to provide a better, more of a white glove treatment for your customers. You'll be able to deliver the solution, whether you're wiring a new bank or you're retrofitting a bank. You'll be able to do that on time and on budget, and not have to run a report later and say, did I make money or not? You'll actually have that in real time by tracking each phase of the project. So again, just to reiterate, one seamless process, one seamless system, from sales, warehouse, service, contracts, accounting, and reporting. So let's go see a demo.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Ashish. Let me know if you guys can hear me quickly, clearly. But good. Perfect, thank you. So here we have SAP Business One and Forza solution for you. On the left-hand side, we have this main menu where we have all the modules associated with SAP Business One for you. And on the right-hand side, we have all the dashboards. As you can see, I'm just looking at Forza and SAP dashboards for now, and I have this common functions here, which actually are the components of the main menu. So I can just go into any of those areas just by clicking these common functions. And then similarly, on the right-hand sides, we have opportunities associated with the system. So it gives a nice and clean information on your hand right there. So if I just click on, and on the top we have different areas within SAP Business One Forza and the dashboards associated with them. So if I click on sales, you will see that all these dashboards will change. And now these dashboards are getting updated real time. So as soon as you put any sort of transactions, and those transactions are associated with these dashboards, this information will get updated, right? As you can see, there's a lot of information here. You have customers group sales year to date. You have item groups, which type of item groups you have sold year to date, and you have sales employee sales. So you have all this data on your hands, and this is particularly helpful for the management to see what's going on in the company, as well as anybody who's taking care of KPIs. If I look at finance, you have your customer aging, receivable aging. It tells you, which customer has not paid yet and what's due and how long it's been due for. It's been due for either 30 days, 9 to 30, or 30 plus 1 days. Right. On the right-hand side, you have your stats year to date versus last year. So you have your comparisons right there in the terms of sales total or the gross profit, how the gross profit has gone up as compared to last year. Have the invoices gone down? Similarly, on the sales total, you have month to date versus last year as well. So it gives you all that information for this particular month compared to last year's September, right? Last year August, sorry. So and this is all the dashboards we have in the system. And as I mentioned before, we have our main focus is going to be project management. So on the main menu, we have all these options where we have this project management information here. So I can just click into project and go right into the project by clicking on projects here, and go to the last project I have. Okay. So here we have under this is the main menu of the project. This is where most of the project manager is going to be keeping track of all the activities associated with this project. Now, as Adam mentioned before, the project management component combines all the financial and the project management data into one solution. Doing so, it allows users to measure actual costs incurred by a particular task and compare it to the budgeted costs. This can help management understand costs related to specific tasks and better assess them in planning and budgeting for the future projects as well. So as you can see here, I have some of the stages lined up, and before we go into stages, let's talk about some of the information at the top. So there are two types of projects you can do. You can have external projects, especially for your customers, and you can even track your internal projects as well. If you have a project running inside the company where you are implementing something new, you can keep track of that internal project, and it helps you measure your actual cost here and compare with your budgeted costs as well, right? And you have your business partner, and business partner means the customer. BP code is basically the customer code and the customer name. Similarly, if there are any territories associated with it, you can have that. Here the sales employee is Adam, and the owner of this whole of this project is Drew Cataldo for now. And we on the right hand side we have the project name. So these are all these are all fields which you can actually search on as well. So if you just know the project name, when you go into project, you can just type in Chase ATM and camera, and it will bring up this project straight away. So by going into find mode. Right, and then you have your status, whether it's started, whether it's paused, it's stopped, or finished. So you can have all those statuses you can update. You have your start date, your due date, and your closing date. Start date and due date is whenever you're ready to close a project, you can go ahead and do that. And this is very important here. We have to define a financial project in order for us to keep track of all the transactional data in the system as well, and I'll go deep into it once we are at the point, right? The project management as a whole, it centralizes all related documents, resources, and transactions in one place, and this helps the user monitor progress of various tasks and stages, and allows you to track project according to business operations, right? So if I just go into click on Overview tab here, we have I can have project with the sub-projects as well, right? Project can be divided into sub-projects or phases depending on the size and the scope of the actual project. These phases can represent a functional area, and user can define stages specific to their businesses, such as for example here, requirement analysis, conception, initiation. So these stages, each stage can have a different task, and each stage can have a different task on a different line, and you can track all that information. For example, here on the first line here, we have conception, installation, quote, and sign. we are saying that it's going to cost us $15,000 to do all of that, and I can certainly put a percentage here. Say, for instance, if this is the 10% of the project, and I can update this, right? And similarly, on each of these line level, on the lines, I can define what is going to be the stage and associated planned cost for that particular project. All right. And if I go ahead and if I look at what are the documents or the transactions associated with the first stage, which is and I can see that there's a sales order associated with it, and you can see all that information about any of the related documents just by highlighting the stage, and then it'll bring up the documents here. So if I go into second stage, which is a contract and blueprint, I will see if there is any document associated with it. Into the third and fourth and so on and so forth. So in installation, I have a couple of documents where I have a service call associated with it and a delivery document. I will go deep into it once we add that. So if you want to look at the sales order, I can just go ahead and click on this document number here, sales order, and I will get to the sales order right from there. So I don't have to get out of the system, get out of that window. I can just, click on that arrow. We call it in SAP Forza, we call it a golden arrow. Golden arrow is basically a window to the next to the data, underlying data within the system. So it can tell you how closely knit the system is, and how all of the information is tightly integrated within one system, right? And similarly, I can get to that sales order by clicking into sales window here, and I can bring up that sales order just by clicking on the sales order here on the side. But now, because we are working with a project management tool, so we have access to all those data from here. And if I look at here, it says planned cost and invoiced amount AR. AR means account receivable. So any invoices which are associated with this particular stage against this planned cost will appear here. For example, here we have open AR. That means the AR document which is open, but it hasn't been paid yet. So if I just click on this stage, and it can show me that there is a delivery associated with this as well, right? There is a $700 worth of delivery which have been associated with this particular stage. So I can go into that delivery, and I can see that this is a labor charge which I place in. Okay. And another thing to note here is that, as I said, I have updated the percentage. How much is the percentage of this is of the total value of this project? So I can associate an owner with each stage as well at the same time. I can associate whoever is going to be the owner of this stage. The owner of this stage is Jason Conforti in this case, and the owner of the whole of the project is Drew Cataldo. Right. So similarly, I can have stage dependencies as well. So you can have two or three different types of stage dependencies depending on how many levels of stage dependencies you want. So for example, if I wanted to have this stage number 2, which is contract blueprint needs to be done, will only start once the stage number 1, which is the conception installation, is completed. Then only I can start stage number 2. So it will only start once I click on finish, and as soon as I click on finished and update this, and you can see that the update on the top, this percentage complete has gone to 10%, because I explained that this 10% is the actual the first stage is the 10% of whole of the project. So you can see all that information is on hand, right? And we talked about all the documents already, how you can attach those documents associated with these each stage, and you can see all of these documents associated with them here. Similarly, you can associate open issues if there are any open issues associated with that stage. And one thing to note here is that if you have an open issue, for example, if I want to have server, and you can define more. I have some of them set up already. You can define more. If I have a network issue, I can give it the priority. I can say, put in my remarks, and I have, if I have a solution, I can associate a solution with that as well. So if, for example, if I just bring up one of the solution here, and I can drill down into it, and you will see that it's associated with a solution knowledge base, and I can update all that solution here. If that solution is not available, I can certainly go ahead and add a new solution into the system just by clicking on new here, and associate that solution with that issue, right? And as soon as my issue is resolved, I would have to close this issue in order for me to close the whole stage. If I don't close this issue, I will not be able to, the system will not allow me to go forward into the project unless I close this and I finish this stage, right? And if I look at the summary of this summary tab on, similarly, sorry, before I move to summary tab, similarly, if I have any work orders associated with it, I can associate my work orders here with that stage and the activities. So now activities is basically a CRM. It acts as a CRM and a supplier relation management as well. So I can associate any activity associated with it. When I say activity, it means is that if I want to make a phone call or set up a meeting for that particular stage to happen, or before I can close that stage, I will need to set this up. Now the management will experience better project transparency by creating activities from the module. This provides an overview of every activity the project team has created against a particular stage, and this allows you to manage project more effectively and efficiently from start to finish as well. So you can actually have all that information about what meetings have taken place and what are the resolution of what was the content of that particular stage, right? And that and you can associate this project throughout the system, and that way you'll have access to all the information on hand, right? Similarly, on the summary tab, you have your, now it will give you the budget, sub project budget. So if there are any sub projects or any stages associated with the system, it'll give you the total sub project budget. What is the sub project budget, and if there is any open AP invoices, if there is open AP documents, AP invoices, and total variance is open AP invoices minus the sub project budget, and that'll give you the total variance, and it'll give you the variance percent. Because we don't have any AP document right now associated with this project, that's why the variance is 100%, right? Similarly, on the profit values, it gives you the profit values as well. What is the profit value going to be? Right now, again, it's showing total variance of $700, and therefore it's not showing the profit value, right? Work orders, accumulated budget, gives you accumulated budget again. Similarly, if there are any sub projects associated with the system, it will give you total of all the sub projects and the stages associated with the system. Any remarks? Remarks is basically it's free text. There are a lot of characters involved. A lot of characters you can actually go through and finish this off. So this is all. This is all we have, and in the project management, you can associate all the different work on different stages. So I'll pass it on to Adam.
Thank you, Ash. I appreciate it.
Work on this.
There you go. Okay. So one other feature or functionality with the project management that's super important is it doesn't matter what area you are in the software, or I'm sorry, in SAP Business One. You can associate if you do a service call on it, or an installation, or generate a purchase order, or even a quote, sales order, delivery, any part of the Forza SAP Business One product. you can associate to that project. So when you look at the project as a whole, you'll be able to see all those transactions for profitability. And the other thing is for those of you who are doing any kind of time completion or milestone billing, there's multiple ways of doing it. One of them would be in the percentages. So if you associate, 10%, 30%, 40%, once you complete it, you can then queue the invoice up for payment. So just to cover a couple more areas, these are some of the tools and resources that we have. We do have the Forza web content, and one other area I do want to cover. SAP Business One and Forza, it's used by so many 60,000+. If you want any information specific, whether it's help or want to watch a video, you're going to find there's tens of thousands of videos, and all of the help or files are published. So if you get in a jam or you want to ask a question to Google, how do I reverse a journal entry, you're never going to get frustrated. Of course, we have all our resources, but having a tool that's so widely used, it's really nice to get instant results. We have brochures. You can contact me after the webinar. BJ will have some information, and we can get you any type of collateral. We do have some white papers from SAP, and also we do have success stories. Just to go over, we do appreciate you spending your time with us. This is truly a game changer for companies that are stuck with a single-use software and they want to expand their business, they want to grow and keep a solution or platform. So just some highlights. We're gonna lower your total cost of by consolidating outdated systems. Manage and control, monitor financials. Integrate mobile-ready built-in CRM. Single pane of glass, as we talked about, and dashboard ready. So if you want the project management in a dashboard to monitor your cash flow, you can create the dashboard or we can create it for you. Interactive and intuitive dispatch portal we spoke about. Real-time in and out coverage, mobile tech, data caching. Enhanced customer web portal, online payments, and service call information. Simple, complex, and unique contract creation, and then the closed loop ticketing. So the closed loop ticketing, again, if you want to ditch the machines and support software or support issues, we have a whole solution designed for the enhance the service ticket management. And also we do have finance options available, which would, less upfront capital, lower cost of entry. And one note I did want to make is we do have a best practices group, and we do listen to our customers. We feel like especially FSPA members, we're going to give you probably everything you need out of the box, but if there are certain reports or even features that would make you better. The way SAP designs, we never ever have to touch the core code, which allows rapid development, typically on time and under budget. One last thing is the project management capabilities to track, manage, and bill each stage. And most importantly, I get this question a lot. We're on a legacy single-use system. Can you convert our data? The answer is yes, we can. We are experts at it. We actually can convert multiple types of solutions. And the next steps, find out more about, if you want to learn more, you can give us a call, or my information will be there, and just, we'll flash it up here in just a moment. We can schedule further demonstration with our team, and also follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Start getting familiar with both SAP B1 and Forza. I appreciate it, and thank you very much. I'm going to turn it over to you, BJ.
Yep, we're going to go through the questions now. So if there's any questions, you can put them in the question box on your webcast viewer. The first question we have is, does the advanced warehouse management require an additional device to scan barcodes, or can it be done using an iPhone camera?
They actually, there's choices. I am aware of the Android. Typically when you're scanning, the issue with the camera, now if you're a technician, you absolutely can scan parts in and out, whether it be using the camera, whether it be Apple or Android. From inventory perspective, you typically need, but you typically need a device that's designed to throw the infrared. So if you have pallets, or if you have 3 and 4 stories of stacked items, a camera typically can't do that. So you do have a choice of devices.
Do you have a published list of the types of devices and things that an implementation would require?
Types of devices, I'm assuming for the warehouse management.
Yes.
We actually have multiple. There's multiple. You may remember earlier I pulled up the store. So there's multiple types of warehouse management and barcoding. I'm not sure if it's published, but I could get a list to anyone who needs it.
Okay. What is the process if we'd like a further demo tailored to our needs?
That's a great question. So what we would do is obviously we would get with you a one-on-one, and we would like to learn more about your business, and based on that we would do a discovery, and then we could do a one-on-one discovery, and then tailor a demonstration to the company, so it's not just a generic demo, and then we could do what we call an SOW, or scope of work, to see what would be entailed and get the proper user count for you.
Okay. When you're talking about running this on mobile devices and tablets, do you download that software from like Google Play Store or the Apple Store?
That is a really good question, because there's some solutions that you have to do. It's called side loading, and it's dangerous. And so what we do is, our approach is all of it, whether you're want to use the CRM, or whether you want to use the tech piece, the mobile tech piece, all of that is available on either the Apple or the iStore. In fact, the CRM is actually an SAP app, and the Forza is our app, but it is available. So it is quality controlled, and it is version to update. As a matter of fact, we just released a new Apple one. The Android one is, it's probably 45 days old, so we're always updating that.
Okay. When you talk about converting legacy data, what is involved with bringing over our existing data?
Okay, that's good. So we are experts. We have engineers that work with you. There's different approaches. It depends on what the software, what we're looking at. We've written a lot of our own scripts, but we can also provide data in a spreadsheet, no matter what system you're on, that could be vetted first, and make sure it's validated before it's entered. And the way we enter it, we don't just throw it into the database from the back end. So when you get it, you're like, oh gosh, this is not what I thought. We have SAP Business One has tools to allow it to go through many rules and security before it actually makes it, so it is verified before it goes in the fields.
Okay. Is everything you provide cloud-based or server-based?
It's a good question. You can actually have it either way. We could do cloud. We can do SaaS-based or cloud. You can purchase it, and there is a difference because most single-use software, you don't own the licenses anymore. But with SAP, when you buy our software, you actually own these licenses, are what's called perpetual, meaning they never shut down. And so you can do that. You can host it yourself. So you have multiple different, there are different ways of doing it.
And if it is cloud-based, do you actually host it?
Yes, we actually host it. We have all the covered servers, which are all certified, redundant, all the speed and the backup. So yes, we can host it and manage it for you. So there's no real management from a company's perspective.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? All right. Well, everybody, thank you for spending this time with us today, and thank you to the Forza team for presenting all this information for us. These webinars are part of being a member of FSPA. If there's topics you'd like to see covered, just let me know. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.